Hey, what's everybody? Welcome to another review. You'll have to excuse me. I am under the weather due to the flu, but I'm trying to get out stuff because I'm finally able to not sit in bed. So yeah, today I want to welcome you to the Lightning Collection Remastered Blue Ranger for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So let's get started. This is basically a brand new body using a lot of their new parts. It's a lot of new coloring. There are still some QC issues on mine. I got mine from CMD store, and that's Canadian production. But by the time it gets released for the US, I think a lot of these issues will be rooted out in quality control most of the time. But yeah, so let's get into it because I'm actually really excited for this figure, and it came out really, really nice. As you can see, we have our new body, and I know it will be tough to see the difference. So the first thing I want to try to do is something a little different. I'm gonna just outright show it next to the other Blue Ranger, which released via Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. As you can see, we have our remastered here on my right, and we have the original on the left. There is a darker blue. The upper torso is different. Our belts are completely different. We have the arms are different. These actually can sit way more flush outside of it being pinless. There's our helmet design. As you can see with the helmets, it actually is an actual completely different look helmet wise. See, the proportion completely different. There's even bigger helmet to fit proper head proportions. So the remaster alone for that has taken a look at it and made it actually a lot better right out of the gate. So just in case you did not know about that, you do. So in case you're wondering how it looks next to it, this is it. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Now we're going to jump into our articulation. All right, guys, now we're going to jump into our articulation. And just like with any other Lightning collection, you'll get your standard articulation, but I'm going to run through it with you guys. Because we have that new neck joint, which I'm going to pop off here, and it actually is kind of tough to put the new heads on. The one thing I do not enjoy is that up here we get a lot less wiggle with our movement. I'm going to Dremel that out like I always do to make it have a bit more movement. I've done it with my G.I. Joes and I've done it with my Lightning collection. I will continue to do so. As you can see, I'm going to wiggle our head on. There we go. But as you can see, there is helmet movement that allows, let me actually put them down. So with our helmet movement, as you can see, we can tilt left and right now. We can go downwards, upwards. I want to Dremel it so it has a little bit more movement. We can hit our standard T pose. A little bit more of a Y pose as well. Come on, focus, work with me. We have our bicep swivel, which, like I said, with these new thinner pinless arms, you actually get a better range of movement as well. With our upper torso, move back just a little bit. There we go. We can actually rotate to the sides. We have backwards movement ever so slightly. We have a nice forward ab crunch. We have our drop down hits. Mine's are actually still pretty tight at this moment, which I very much enjoy. When it gets loose, I'm probably going to use the key solution, which I'll show you at the end of the video as well. We have thigh swivel. Our drop down combined with this gets us a little bit higher than our 90-degree angles. We have double joints. We have our boot swivel. We have ankle pivot and articulation, right? So as far as getting your Power Rangers to do really cool moves, that should not be any sort of issue whatsoever. If you just want to do a cool jumping pose, like a karate-like pose, you want to do a low stance pole, trying to show off, not an issue. An attack pose. With me, I'm probably going to, like I said, when I'm able to rotate that head a little bit better, it's going to be able to have a lot more movement. We actually have a beautiful butterfly joint as well. I forgot to carry that over. I have a little bit of stress on mine, and that's from me trying to figure out some movement because mine was a little tight out of the box. So yes, outright looks fantastic, moves fantastic as far as I'm concerned, but no real major gripes on my end. But oh, sorry, that actually comes in the term of it's a slight mispaint here up top on my helmet. It doesn't bother me, but I know if I don't mention it, someone will. So yeah, that's probably one thing that will probably irk other people, but bothers me little to none. Because I don't know how to edit or paint, I'm just going to pay someone to do it. So now real quick, what we are going to do is jump into accessories. Let's get to it. All right, so as we talk about accessories, the first thing I want to do is go over Billy's new sculpt, which I think is actually really, really solid. This is an excellent Billy sculpt. It comes without the glasses on it because he actually has his glasses separated. So you can actually do with or without glasses should you want to. And it's actually grooved out into the side of the head, how you want to put the glasses on, so they actually groove right in and sit on the face. You shouldn't have any issue popping them on. Staying is a different issue, but they should groove right into the face. Mine has trouble staying in, but once it's in, no, it's actually in there, as you can see right now. This is a beautiful sculpt. I have to find my other Billy sculpt so I can show you the difference. I'm probably going to add that at the end because I don't know where it is at this moment. So you'll have to excuse me on that. And then we have our weapons, which we have Billy's lances. We have them in our separated form. Then we have our combined form. Both look pretty solid. This is easily warpable, so please be careful. I would highly suggest if it does warp, use some boiling water to reshape it. But I do like the new coloring on it. It's really well, but you also get all the proper emblems inside. Just in case you're wondering, it's all really in there. Next up, you'll get the 3-pronged weapon. Here it is in storage mode. So you can just fit it right in. Boop. That fits right in. You have the blade blaster in sword mode, which they very rarely did in American Power Rangers. And then you have blade blaster in blaster mode. Again, all of these are very well painted this time around and look really good. I would have loved the slingshot. Oh, they actually left a little opening too, so you can add little effects to it. Oh, that's pretty dope. I didn't think they would do that. They actually added the opening to it. That's pretty cool. Next up, you'll also get some blue flame effects for morphing. And I believe this is going to definitely be from our Boom Studios counterpart. This has to be from our Boom Studios counterpart because this is not really on the American side. I mean, sorry, not the American side. The live action. This is more of a comic book treat, especially when showing them morph, which I don't mind. I actually love seeing that. So let's leave that there. You'll actually get a set of closed hands. Our focus is being crazy lately. You get a set of closed hands. We have our open actions hands there. Then next up, you actually get a set of morphing hands and a morpher for morphing, which I absolutely love. The only thing that could have made this more perfect for the remasters is broken helmets. And I like the idea of broken helmets being the sculpts of them, but I don't think they're ever going to add that. On our morphing hands, you'll get an up and down pivot on both. A horizontal, that's the word. But yes, as you can see, we fit our morphers in there. And it's really, really nice. And it's so hard to get focused lately. And I think it's because of my new light setup. It's been like that ever since. But as you can see, the Triceratops logo is actually in there. This is really dope. But yes, this has been a really fun remaster to like get hands on with and have a good, joyous time. I've really been enjoying it. Yellow has actually been pretty fun too. But it sucks though because after getting that 2-pack, it's like how many Trini heads do I have now? Or like, it's been a lot of Yellow Rangers. But Blue, I guess it works out because Blue didn't get that many redos, which is perfect. But without further ado, let's jump into our size comparison. I'll see you guys in a bit. Here we are with the size comparison, but as promised, here we are with our remastered sculpt again. Here we are next to the original Blue sculpt. And as you can see, I do like the remastered one. It looks a little bit more proportionate, a little better in the skin tone, a little bit more favorable. So I really have been enjoying that. So I'll make sure I showed that off. Next up, we're going to do, let us go with our Red Ranger. Mine's looking a little busted. I got to break out my better one. I've had this guy for a while now. So yes, I got to get a new one. Here we are also with remastered yellow. So you can see that you get a nice different size proportions with them, which I very much like. I like that a lot. So, but you see the arms sit a little bit more flush here, whereas with these ones, they don't. They just look a little bit more favorable in terms of paint and look. So I'm here for it. Let's remove these two. Next up, we'll do a putty. Who I've had this guy for a while. You can see. Then we can do Goldar. So here we are with a Goldar. Goldar is not as gigantic. I didn't do the Super 7 one. Wasn't really a fan of that design. And that's, I mean, articulation wise. But yes, here we are with Goldar. Let's remove these two. Then we have King Sphinx. who is a very big boy. Next up, we can compare to other stuff. So, excuse me, again, a little under the weather. Here we are with G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. This is my kit bash Snake Eyes, using a bunch of different parts in case you're asking. Then we can do SHF 2 Kaiser. So if you're wondering how they look like next to SHF, I think the remasters actually look really good next to SHF. Pretty close in some sizes. They don't have to exactly be the same height, but they have to look close enough. Then, if we compare SHF for Kamen Rider, here's Revi, or Revi, depending on who you ask, who is on the larger body. And then we have Shunkocho Seiho Kuga, which has the older, smaller body. And again, looks pretty good on multiple ends. I think the new larger bodies fit very well with the Lightning Collection stuff. Then we have Valaverse. So here we are with Valaverse Rollout, heavily armed. And then just in case you're wondering what a Mythic Legion looks like, in case you wanted to get mythic with it. So yes, we have a nice look. I don't have a Marvel Legend, but I do have my Mezco Me here. So you see what's like next to a Mezco. And for Legends, I think they all stand pretty close, but I don't necessarily have one here. The only one I do have actually is a much technically larger one, which is going to be Venom. So we'll use him very quickly. So here we are with the larger Venom, in case you're worried. But yeah, I'm really liking these remasters. I'm hoping that I can get some excellent photos out of them, showcasing those new looks. Next up, I'm hoping to do yellow. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being patient, dealing with me while I'm sick. I appreciate it. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.